Well, yesterday we got Jesse Smollett being sentenced. Let's talk about this one. Wow. Hey everybody, this is Tom's Talk Show. And before we get started, it would be great if you could just subscribe to this new channel and help me build it. I just bring you all kinds of news stories that are on my mind. This is different from my my Tom's Tech Show channel, which is more about technology, maybe some fun TV movie things like that. So this over here seemed to be better positioned to put like news stories and political things, things like that. The other channel is monetized, and if I say anything about that kind of stuff, then you get slapped by YouTube and everything else. So some of the safe place over here seems to be better. And also I started doing some gaming on Twitch. There'll be that link down below in the description. But today, we're talking about our favorite victim in the world, Jesse Smollett. And I'm not going to use, I don't care about how to pronounce his name because I don't have any respect for the person. But yeah, if we look over here, and signaling right from the start, right? This is 100% signaling right from the start. Well, can you see it right there? Yes. No one around him is wearing a mask at all. Except he has to, because he's got a signal that he's, with the program and everything else. And, he'll probably be further canceled, if he doesn't, follow, the program. That's hilarious. I didn't see that initially, but just, oh my gosh, yes. Okay, former Empire actor was sentenced to 30 months probation and 150 days in jail, and he's got to pay about $145,000 to police and penalties and all that. So the judge makes his statement down here, which he can tell people what he wants. He's the judge. So he spoke for more than 30 minutes before announcing sentencing. Wow. He said, there's a side of you that it has this arrogance, selfishness, and narcissism that is just disgraceful. He's telling the truth. He's just out there, saying, this is what it is. He said, you're not a victim of a racial hate crime. You're not a victim of a homophobic hate crime. You're just a charlatan pretending to be a victim of a hate crime, and that's shameful. Wow. Of course, these social justice groups are like, you're just attacking him because of, his, you're an Easternism because, of who he is and all that. So I don't know how, I think, didn't the two brothers, now that I'm trying to remember this whole thing, didn't the two brothers come forward and say, yeah, he paid us, all this stuff, they came fully clean, and he was just saying, oh, they just did that just to, just to try and get, not be involved and not have, longer, get involved and get jail time themselves. I'm like, well, the logic doesn't flow, because if you're innocent and you didn't do any, and you didn't help him perpetrate the hoax, then what do you have to worry about? Right? Why do you need to come forward? The only reason you come forward is because you are guilty of something. Right? Because they knew everything that was going on. So I remember he continued to play that, I think, in the trial. But his statement, Smollett's statement is so this statement that he's arrogant, selfish, and narcissistic is again proven completely as Smollett makes his last statements before being hauled off. After the judge announced the sentence, Smollett lowered his face mask. Oh my gosh, you took your face mask off. Oh no. And said, Your Honor, I respect you. I respect the jury. But I didn't do this. Okay, so you were there at the trial, right? You saw everybody present all this evidence against you, and a jury go out and deliberate and come back and say, yeah, he did it. This is obvious. And you're still feigning ignorance. I mean, he's going to continue to double and triple and quadruple down. I'm sure he's going to get his lawyers to probably appeal this minor sentence. And really, I'm surprised that he got the 150 days of jail just for lying to the police. I mean, I think if he would have not pushed and made such a big deal about the whole thing, I think that he might have skipped the 150 days in jail. I mean, he'd probably get the fines or whatever, but I mean, a little bit of, less than 3 years probation, and felony probation. I don't know what's different than local probation. Maybe that's he has to get permission before crossing state lines or something and leaving the area. I don't know that it's overseen by the federal government rather than the local government because there are problems with the local government kind of thing. Maybe that's part of the reason why. And then, so that's what the actor told the judge before turning to the court. And not only did he quadruple down saying, I'm still innocent, but he pre-Jeffrey Epstein's himself. Right? And he says, I mean, this has just got to be an amazing acting performance. I can't even, I mean, to be there and to watch this happen. I mean, I know, you shouldn't really laugh or have any outbursts in court, but I think I would have been on the floor. I think I just would have been on the floor. Because he says, and I am not suicidal. Okay, nobody said you were. Narcissists are typically not suicidal. If anything happens to me when I go in there, it's the local jail, dude. Okay. It's not like you're going, to Joliet or anything, or an ultra maximum security prison, right? You're going to jail. I mean, not that jail is fun, but I mean, you're not, this isn't, you're not, okay. So, if anything happens when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that. If something happens, then it wasn't me. It was just like Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, and neither did I. So he's expecting continually, it's like to, do I think that possibly when he gets in there, is he going to injure himself in some way? Possibly. Right? He is staging this and setting this up as a continuation of the fake crime. Right? I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to pay some people to go and do some type of crime to get put in jail, to be in the cell next to him, to then, punch him or something. Right? I mean, just continue this whole charade. And this is just completely insane. That he's pre-Jeffrey Epsteining himself. He's pre-setting up that if anything happens to me, this time I really didn't pay for it. I really didn't set this up if anything happens to me again. Right? I mean, in the first place, up until this point, the only things that have happened to you, you have devised yourself. You have created yourself, everything else. So the only thing you really have to be afraid of is yourself. No one anywhere at all really cares about this whole thing. I mean, of course, down here, the the social justice people are going to say, oh, we need to be nice to him because he's, in one of these, identity groups and all that. So we need to be lenient because he's blah, 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 because he's whatever, I don't care. He's a person who found two guys that he was working with say, I'm not getting enough publicity. I'm not getting paid enough. So if I stage this crime against me, that'll get me publicity so that then I can, say, see, my name's out there. People know my name. And so since I'm popular this way, then you need to be giving me more money at my job on Empire. Insane. Completely insane. I mean, I've said before in my other videos about this, what would the difference have been if he would have gone to children's hospitals and continued to take time, go to kids' hospitals, probably in, depressed and, lower communities and stuff where, kids don't get people who are famous, who are in anything to come there, and would have gone there over and over and over again and done that kind of charity work out of his own time, his own money, everything, to go to different kids' hospitals and be able to, spend time with them, shake their hands, bring pictures, get signed autographs from the other cast members that, some of the kids might like and stuff, and say, here, I got this one, who's your favorite character on Empire? And then blah, 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 and be able to do that. I mean, that would have been completely huge, right? I mean, you get your name out there like that, he shows up randomly at this other kid's hospital. This kid's, family didn't have any money to pay for their stuff, and he, gave them $10,000 to help pay for kids' surgery. I mean, what kind of publicity would that have been to do that? But instead, he fakes somebody, doing, some craziness against him. He's truly a complete narcissist with this last comment. I mean, he gets called a selfish, arrogant narcissist, and then proceeds to prove it within the next 3 minutes of the trial, of the sentencing. Oh my gosh. Do you think... Okay. So I guess here's a big question. Do you think he's actually innocent? Do you think... The bigger question is, do you think he's going to continue to perpetrate this lie in such a way that he pays off somebody in the cell next to him that says, listen, just smack me in the face, break my nose, then they'll have to take me out of here into a hospital, and I could further perpetuate, my lie that I've done, and I'll get somebody to get you money when you get out of jail. I mean, I'd be seriously following that trail, right? Do you think he's going to try something like that? I mean, it's crazy. It's just, it's insane. But anyway, that part is over. Maybe there'll be a part 2. Let's see. Maybe it will continue, and we'll get more fun things to talk about. Anyway, thanks for watching this. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to head over to Twitch, where I might be doing some gaming, and my other tech show channel, Sean Tom's Tech Show, where I do movie, TV reviews. I do all kinds of technology things, about stuff I work on kind of in my day job, and just creating my own little network, my own little baby network. So, all right, thanks for watching. Take care.